You brought it up, Oscar. You had to be Oscar. Why you let him snap that picture?
Which one?
The 15 years ago, the picture you was talking about.
Oh, I was drugged up. Yeah, I was drugged up. I didn't even know it. Yeah.
You didn't know you had put the pantyhose on?
No. Have you ever tried it?
No, hell no. If they gonna make me put pantyhose on, hell no. I ain't gonna try. I ain't gonna try it either.
Okay. Think about it. To get those pantyhose on,
yeah.
God damn it.
But
it'll take like 2 hours.
But that's what
sober.
Oscar.
Yeah.
You had to go by the size when you was not sober.
No. What happened was, and I've talked about this a lot in my documentary too, because I'm open about it. I don't give a fuck. I was getting with bad people, this and that. 2 women come in my room with a suitcase. That's all I remember. And after that, I wake up the next day.
What was in the suitcase?
Well, women's clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, women's clothes, drugs, this, that. Yeah, they set me up. But it's okay, it happened, so what? Yeah.
You mentioned that during your career. Did you partake in drugs during your career?
No, I couldn't because...
they tested?
Yeah, they tested you. I didn't drink, smoke, drugs.
Women were your vice, though.
I was a professional. When you boxed,
women were your vice.
I mean, we're human, right? But I started drinking in the Pacquiao fight.
Okay.
I was drinking in the Pacquiao fight. The last 2 weeks, my training was going bad. I was getting beat up in sparring.
Damn.
And I said, you know what? Let me just booze it up. And that's what happened.
Did you try to like suppress that from coming out? Because you knew that was going. Oscar, you know who you are. You're Oscar De La Hoya. You're the Golden Boy. Yeah. You're a gold medalist. You're a 6th division champ.
Sure.
Do you understand how that was going to make you look if those pictures ever came forward?
No. I actually, another story that people don't know, when they came out, yeah, I was fucking worried as hell because I was at the peak of my career.
Yes.
And I was having issues with, domestically at home,
with your wife.
Yeah, with all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And so they made me, first of all, we hired this forensic expert in photos and Photoshop. We actually convinced the people that they were fake.
Fake.
Yeah. And I was home free.
Right.
And then the person at the time that I was with convinced me to do an interview and tell the world, you know what, they're real. So
why the hell would you do that?
Because I was a shell of my own self at the time. I didn't know what I was thinking. But I'm glad I did it because I'm glad I said they were real because it set me free.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're out there 15 years ago, so what? I mean, what? I bet if I asked 30 people here, 20 of them say, yeah, I've worn something from a woman. In closed doors. Oh, That's what happens. Mine just came out publicly.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Oscar.
Come on. Hey, come on, let me see.
I ain't even got on socks, so I know I ain't wearing no pantyhose. Let me ask you this. Give me your top 3 Mexican fighters of all time.
Of all time?
Ooh, they got some good ones. Julio Cesar Chavez, De La Hoya,
Salvador
Canelo.
Sanchez. Sanchez was a good one. He passed at an early age, but he beat Azuma Nelson in his prime. I think he died at 22, 23. Mm-hmm. Could have been
Roy Jones mentioned him when I spoke to him. He
Salvador
mentioned
Sanchez. There's a fighter that people won't know of. They call it El Puas. You have Julio Cesar Chavez. Mm-hmm. Canelo's going to be up there, top 10. So, yeah.
Ricardo Lopez.
Oh, Ricardo Lopez, who was undefeated as well. Yeah. I think he had 1 draw. He was 50-0 and 1 draw. But a lot of great Mexican fighters. But I have to respect Canelo with what he's accomplished, and I'll put him top 10.
Wow. Top 10? Yeah. I ain't asked for 3, so he ain't got, I guess if he top 10, he ain't making your top 3. Do you remember the 92 Olympics? Because that was the first year they bought the NBA, the Dream Team.
Sure.
And they took everybody, the Dream Team, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson. Oscar De La Hoya, Barcelona.
Yeah. Oh.
This was a lifetime, a culmination of a lifetime because you dreamt
Yep.
of being an Olympic gold medalist?
Sure. It's by far the best moment of my life, you know, professionally, inside the ring. At the same time, I was cursed, you know, at the same time. It was like the best moment and the worst moment of my life because my mother wasn't there. She had passed away from cancer the year prior. So you can imagine all the emotions. I was just a kid. So listening to the national anthem, right? USA's playing, and man, I'm just full of emotions. I couldn't cry, I couldn't laugh. The best moment of my life. I go down, get out of the ring, and Fred Rogan is gonna interview me, and he mentions my mom, and I just
Lost it.
I couldn't do the end. I just cried and cried and cried. So it was a lot of pressure, but it was a surreal moment. It was the best moment that I've ever had. And I tell people this a lot of time, the heaviest weight you can carry is expectations. Yeah. And you know what the expectations were going into Barcelona. Not only because you're fighting for something more than a gold medal, your mom. Yeah.
You know she's watching. Yeah. And the expectation from the Americans back home that you're supposed, Oscar De La Hoya gonna win the gold medal. I don't know how many others we gonna win, but we gonna win that one.
Sure. And it was all a lie. It was all a lie. Imagine that. The media made up the whole story that I was in my mom's deathbed and she whispered, win the gold medal for me.
I did that?
She didn't do that. It didn't happen. The media was just feeding it to me and I was hearing it and I believed it. And they would ask me, hey, Oscar, so you're doing it for your mom? Yeah, I'm doing it for my mom, for her cancer. I hope she beats it, this, that, and she, you know, and I ran with it.
Right.
You know, and the whole world ran with it. The pressure was just too much. There were times I fought, I believe it was South Africa. I beat him easy, but after that fight, I wanted to give up because the pressure was too much. I was like the darling in Barcelona. Oh, Oscar has the great story.
Because you were the golden boy then.
Right. No, actually, they named me the golden boy when I won the gold.
Right.
But the pressure early on was just, I would never wish any type of pressure like that for anybody.
You could feel it. You knew.
Oh, it was. I wanted to quit. In the Olympics, I wanted to quit in the Olympics. Yeah, it was too much.
Can I ask you this, Oscar? How did your upbringing, childhood, there's some situations that happened.
Yeah.
You mentioned, I think you talked about in your documentary that you were raped at the age of 13 by a 35-year-old woman in Hawaii. How did your upbringing shape the Oscar De La Hoya that's sitting in front of me today?
Yeah, look, I got taken advantage of. You know, when you're 15 years old, and I mean, at 15, your hormones are like, hey, oh my God, they're like just jumping up and down. And older woman, you know, takes advantage of me. That's it. That was it, you know. Did it scar me? Did it change my mentality towards women, this and that? Like, it does something to you. But again, you're your own individual to figure it out. I grew up in tough streets. I grew up in a tough family. I grew up with a mom who used to beat me every freaking day.
Wow.
I had a father who just, my connection with him was boxing. You know, he was military. And, but it made me tough. It made me who I am. It made me, if it wasn't for my childhood, I would have quit in the Olympics.
Wow.
That's the toughness I needed to win the gold.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before 2 something.